Good morning, students. I hope my screen is visible and I'm audible. So I know that you can't respond to me as I have disabled the chat window. So today my discussion is on PyQt. But before that, since last three sessions, I was unable to complete the session which I have began with. That is lambdas, map, regular expressions. The moment I have faced some technical issue and I have ended the session, again after that I could not complete that regular expressions topic, and then I could not conduct that quiz which I have already made it for you on lambdas and map and regular expression. So I just want to first quickly discuss in 5 to 10 minutes this regular expression, and then I want to discuss with regard to the PyQt. So very quickly I'll tell how to use the regular expressions in Python because it's very powerful and we use in real-time application development. So I have already covered the discussion on lambdas and map. So which I have said that lambda is an small anonymous function that can take any number of arguments but will have only single expression. And this lambda functions you can just pass it as an object or an argument to another function. All that I have shown you. And map also I have said that it's a function which takes function and iterables as arguments and returns an iterable map object that can be later converted to list tuple or any other type whichever you wanted. So all that I have shown you with examples, but whatever the session I thought of discussing these regular expressions, I could not complete it due to some technical issue that I had on that particular day. After that, again, I thought of discussing along with MongoDB, but MongoDB itself I have taken for 1 hour duration. So that's the reason today again I don't want to say it and skip it. So that's the reason first I'll just quickly discuss these regular expressions and then I'll move on to this the PyQt. So in last session I have said you that I'm going to discuss the tkinter module, but as one of your students only have suggested me better to discuss about PyQt because I thought of discussing tkinter module as it was part of your syllabus, but anyway you are done with your academics, so we don't require again to bound by the same syllabus. So that's the reason student felt that it will be better if PyQt was introduced. That's the reason I thought even correct only since your academic is completed. Again, no need to stick on with the tkinter module that's there in the academic. So let me introduce you to the simplest form with the use of PyQt. That's the reason today I'm going to first cover these regular expressions and later I'm going to show you how to get this PyQt installed and then how we are going to use the Qt designer. I'll show you with the Qt designer how easy you can develop a form and then you can navigate from one form to other form. A very simple and basic application I'm going to show you. I'll just give you a intro to Qt designer so that it will help you understand its simplicity and its powerfulness for developing applications very easily and effectively. So that's what the agenda of today's session. So without making any delay, let me start with the regular expression. So first thing you need to do is you need to import the RE module which indicates regular expression. So after importing RE module, you can just use this RE module in order to search for a particular pattern in a string, or you can find all the matches with regard to certain pattern, and you can split according to a particular pattern, and you can even substitute or replace. So these are the four methods I wanted to explain you with regard to this regular expression. So first thing I'll start with search function. By giving a particular pattern over a string, we are able to check whether that particular match is available or not. And then I'll show you find all method that returns a list of strings that contains the match. And then I'll show you the split method, so which is going to split as per the match. And then I'll finally show sub, that is re.sub method, that is used to replace the matched pattern with another string. After that I'll put full stop to this re, and then I'll show you the Qt designer. So yeah, without wasting time, let me take a simple string example. So I'm just taking here s equal to, so we are learning Python. Okay, let me just stop it here. And now how you are going to use this is, I have already imported the re module as you have seen the above. Now I'm going to just say I equal to re dot search of, and here I'm using the caret symbol, which indicates if the string starts with, and then I'm saying v, and dot indicates followed by, that means v followed by any character apart from slash n, and then star indicates zero or more occurrences of that particular character other than the slash n as mentioned. So caret symbol here indicates if it starts with the word v followed by dot, that is any character, cardinality star indicates zero or more occurrences of that particular character, I mean which is any character other than slash n. And then you can mention the end string also, you can even mention the end string with the use of dollar. And then this is what my search pattern, and comma, and then you need to give the string for which you are looking. So this is how you are going to do. Now I can just use this if condition to check if whatever that variable I have given, and then I can say print simple match, so here you can say, you can see that what you are getting it printed match. You can even say else, and then you can also say that it's not matching. So this is how you are going to use the search function. So search function basically takes two arguments. The first argument is the pattern here, as you can see before the comma. So the search function takes two arguments. The first is the pattern, and the second argument is the string itself. The second argument is the string. You can either pass the string object, or you can even give the string here itself. It's up to you. So this is how you are going to give. And the meta characters you need to be familiar with. What are the different meta characters that you can use in the search pattern? These are the things you need to be understanding. So here I have shown you three of the meta characters. So caret symbol indicates if the string begins with, dot indicates any character, star indicates zero or more occurrences of that particular any character other than slash n. If I use plus, that indicates one or more occurrences of that particular character. If I use vertical line, that indicates either or, if the one which is before or the one which is after. So like that you can use the vertical line also. Apart from this, you can also use the something like special sequences. So special sequences that starts with backslash. So you can use special sequences something like here I have used caret symbol now. Apart from caret symbol, you can also use like this backslash a. So backslash a indicates that if that particular string is beginning with or starting with, you can say. So if it is starting with, that's what this backslash a indicates. Similarly, you can also use backslash b. So this will be if that particular string is uh, like, you can just treat it like a block or word. That's what the best way of understanding if that particular thing begins with that particular word. And if you use capital B, it's quite, just opposite to that. That means if it does not begin with a specified word, and similarly if you use slash d, it indicates if the string contains digits. Similarly, if you use backslash capital D, it indicates that the string does not contain digits. Similarly, if you use backslash small s, it indicates if the string contain white spaces. If you indicate backslash capital S, it indicates if the string does not contain white spaces. So something like this, you can use these meta characters and escape sequences in your search pattern. According to that, you can apply them on the search string or even on the finding. Now let me show you how to use the find all method. So for that, again, let me use some other string. So s equal to, very quickly, I live at house number 10 in plot 241 with pin, something like this. I have given a string. So s equal to I live at house number 10 in plot 241 with pin 65, something I have given a string. So why I have taken a string like this is I want you to observe the find all method how I am using in order to find the strings with digits. So for that reason I have taken a string something like this. Now let me take some variable res for result, and then re is the module which I am going to use here. So re dot find all, and then as I have just said, I am using the special sequence, that is backslash d, and then it can be followed by any digits. That's what it indicates. This backslash d plus indicates, that means digit one or more occurrences. That's what indicates, and separated by the search string. Now what I can do is, now this particular result I can just display it and see what it is returning me. So here you can see how we have extracted only the numbers from the string. So in this example you can just observe how we have extracted all the numbers, all the digits from the string. So what we can also do is, let me show you the other one. So if I use capital D, what happens, you can just observe. So let me print this result, and you can observe. So what you observe now, so apart from digits, this is how you will be using the special sequences. Now what you can see in the output, so if I am using find all method with backslash small d plus, it is used to extract only the numbers from the string. If I am using backslash capital D, it is extracting other than the numbers. It is extracting other than the numbers. This is what I was mentioning. Similarly, if I use, let me show you with yes, and again let's print this. So here you can see what is it displaying. It is displaying all the spaces. It's displaying all the spaces. So similarly, if I use, so now you can see what it have extracted. It have extracted all the words, all the words in my string. So backslash capital S have extracted all the words from the string. So I hope one thing you understood from this. Whatever the things I have done here, the find all method, what is it returning? It is returning list of strings. So the point I want you to make you remember here is, the find all method is going to return you the list of strings. So that's why here you can see when I am using backslash small d here, I got it as a list. So I hope you can recognize it. The use of square brackets can make you understand that it is of list type. And here again, when I'm using backslash capital D, when I'm extracting other than the digits, so again it came with list. Again, when I'm using backslash small s, it have returned all the list of spaces. It have returned all the list of words by removing the spaces, something like this. So yeah, this is the point you need to understand here. Now next, let me move on to split function, so that you will understand how to use also the split. Now okay, let me use the same string, and let me use the split function now. Okay, what I'll do is I'll use the same thing, search pattern also. I'll use the same thing. You'll easily understand from that. And okay, let me use here plus. So here, what do you observe now? When I'm using slash d, now what is happening? So digit is taken as the delimiter. Digit is taken as the delimiter. That is the reason in this original string, so 10 is taken as the delimiter, through which this particular before one was taken as a one string. That's why here you can see I live at HNO with the space also is included. Next again, after 10, again from space onwards up to 241, I mean before 241 including the space, that's what the second string you are getting it here. Observe carefully. Next, after 241, again from white space up to the last. So you can see, sorry, before this 6 5s with the space, here you can see what is happening. And if you observe the very last, there is an empty single quote, and single quote opening and closing immediately. That is nothing but the new line, that you have to treat it something like end parameter, the end parameter. So this is how split function will be doing. So the basic difference is split function will split the string where the match, I mean wherever there is a match. Again, this also returns in list type only. I hope you got that point understood here also. So this split function also returns you in list only, with only difference that it is going to split where there is a match. Wherever there is a match occurred, it is going to split, and the return type is again list only, as I have said you. So this is what the use of split function. And as I have shown you here, you can try with other things. So I hope you can just try that. Let me show you quickly with one thing. So this is what, now I am splitting other than the digits now. So that's why here you can see all things how it have been extracted. So this is how you will be using the split function. I hope you got this understood. So quickly I'll move on to the last one, that is the sub function, and then I'll move on to the PyQt, because today I'm going to conduct this quiz on lambda, map, and regular expressions. Sorry for that. Now again I'll use the same string. Let me again use res equal to ra dot sub, and then here backslash s plus comma, and then here it takes three parameters. Let me first explain you before doing this. So here what I am doing is I am saying result equal to re module dot sub function, and the pattern what I am specifying is space, wherever there is a space. That's what the pattern I am saying. And then here I am saying the one which it is to be substituted by. the one which it is to be substituted by. So wherever backslash s is there, I mean wherever space is there, that is white space. It can be single space or multiple spaces. That's what here I have used plus. The cardinality plus indicates one or more occurrences of that particular special symbol, whatever I am using there. So if I am using star, that particular star cardinality indicates whatever the special sequence I have included, zero or more occurrences of that. So that's what the cardinality indicates. So here I'm just trying to substitute or replace, you can tell, the white space with the new line character. On which particular string? This particular string, yes. What is that string? This particular string here, this one. So let's display this and see. So here you can see what is it giving. So it is giving me all the words in separate lines, because I have used the substitution string as slash n for white space now. That's why here you can see how it is displaying. So this is what I thought of discussing in the previous session when I was discussing the lambdas and map, but I could not discuss. And yesterday again I said you I'll discuss, but with MongoDB only we are finished. That's why today I thought to discuss first and then move on to the PyQt. I hope everyone understood this. So at the end of my session today, you are going to write the quiz on lambdas, map, and then this regular expressions. I have not included the PyQt or MongoDB because these all things are just discussing for your knowledge on the Python utilities, so that it will be helpful for your real-time application developments. So even yesterday I missed out mentioning this. So this is how you can download the MongoDB officially. So you can go to the mongodb.com. I hope the screen is visible. So you can go to the mongodb.com, the official site, and there in the software you can find the community server. You can click on that community server, and then there you can choose here. There you can choose the platform, and then you can click on download, which you can double click it and get the installer, install it on your machine. So this is what I missed it yesterday, and once you install it, you can happily open the MongoDB Compass community. Automatically it gets installed. I thought of showing you, but yesterday I missed it. So you can just open the MongoDB Compass community, and as I have shown you, you can just click on connect and connect to the database. So it takes time for loading the plugins. Anyway, I think you can just work it on. It just takes time again. Okay, so officially go to the mongodb.com and then go to the software and then click on community server, and there you can find the available downloads. You can select the version. By default the latest version will be shown to you on the top in the drop down list, and then you can choose the platform. By default Windows will be there. So this is what I missed it yesterday, so I thought of discussing that. Now coming to today's topic, that is working with PyQt. So what is PyQt? So basically we have tkinter module which automatically comes with Python installation, that is useful for developing small web applications. But as mentioned, this tkinter module will be useful in developing very smaller web applications, and even we don't have the designer facility like which we got with this PyQt. So PyQt is a GUI widget toolkit. It is one of the most powerful, we can tell, in today's world. It's one of the most powerful toolkit that we can use it for cross-platform GUI library, and it was developed by Riverbank Computing Limited. So that also you can directly go to the official riverbankcomputing.com and then you can download that PyQt as well. But the simplest way is you can just open your command prompt. You can just open your command prompt and then you can just type the command pip install and then you can just type PyQt5. So this is how very simply you can just install it. So if I click enter, for me it will tell as expected requirement already satisfied, because I have already got this particular module installed. Obviously it will tell me this requirement already satisfied. If you are installing for the first time, it should show downloading, and then finally it will tell you successfully installed. And after installing PyQt5, you have to install this PyQt5 tools in order to get the designer, and this is how you will be getting the designer. So again it will be telling the same thing for me, because this designer is also installed for me. So once you install this, and I hope you people already aware that you can't directly open it, the command prompt and install, unless you have set the path to the Python scripts. So I have already set the environment variables path, that is to the Python scripts. I am able to execute this pip command from anywhere in my command prompt. But if you don't set the environment variable to the Python scripts, you have to navigate to this particular Python scripts folder path, and there only you can execute this command pip install pyqt5 first. After that you have to execute the command pip install pyqt5 tools. So with this PyQt5 tools, you are going to get the designer app which I mentioned. So I'll just show you how you will be finding it. So you can just click on your C drive, and then in my case I have installed Python 3.8. So here you can see this Python 38, and then you can find this lib folder, and in the lib folder you must be finding a folder called site packages. From this site packages you will be finding, so these are all the modules that were installed. In my machine I have installed these many modules. So by default there will be so many modules that you can find. Yeah, here you can see, yeah, here you can see PyQt5 which is already installed, and then PyQt5 tools. So this is the module that will be containing the Qt designer. So you can just double click this Qt5 tools, just observe the path. So I'm just showing the example of in my machine. So in my machine there is Python 3.8 installed, so which is in C drive. So I've opened that Python 38, and then there a lib folder will be there. Within that lib folder you can find the site packages. Within the site packages you will be finding PyQt5 tools after you have installed it. After you have installed it, and then you can find the Qt folder. In that Qt folder you can find the bin. In that bin you can find the designer. Here you can find the designer. So this, each time it will be difficult for you to go up to this particular point. So what you can do is you can just right click and go for this send to, and then you can select the desktop, create shortcut. I have already done that, I am just showing for you. I hope you can understand that. So because for the first time I'm just showing you how you will be finding this particular designer. So once you give this pip install pyqt5 hyphen tools, you automatically get this module installed and created under the site packages folder. And if you go into that site packages you can find this pyqt5 tools. In that you can find qt folder. In that you can find bin folder. Within the bin folder you can find this designer. As mentioned, this Qt designer we are going to use for designing the forms, and each time it will be difficult for you to come up to this point for opening the designer. For that I am saying you can just do right click and go to send to and select desktop for creating the shortcut. So this is how you will be doing, and once you double click that, this is how you will be getting the window. Once you double click that particular designer, you will be getting the Qt designer window in this form, and here you can click on new, and this is the new form Qt designer window that gets opened, and by default the selection will be on main window. So if you are going to create dialogues, then you can choose the dialogues. If you are creating window, you can let the main window be there, and then click on simply create. I'll just tell you a simple form design using this Qt form, and then I'm going to show you how you can convert this particular UI form to the actual Python file. Because whatever the form you are going to design here, it will be the UI form only. It's going to be the UI form, that is user interface form only. But you have to add some actions to that. For that, what you require is you require the actual code. So I'll show you how you are going to design a simple form, and then how you are going to convert the UI form to the code, that is the Python code, and then how you are going to make changes to the code in order to get it affected to the UI form in reality. So that's what I'm going to show you. So as mentioned here, you can see, uh, by default this is how you get the window open, and these are the different templates. And if you are creating a main window, let the main window be selected, and here you can find all the layouts. Because this designer makes it simple, makes your task simple, rather than writing the code for entire addition of the components to the window. Because I hope you do remember, when you have worked with Java, you might have imported this AWT package, and you started creating objects for labels, text fields, text areas, checkboxes, buttons, everything, and you start adding actions to that. You start adding those things to the frame or window, and then you start adding code to those components. All that you will be doing. But instead of that, we can just make use of this Qt designer in Python, which makes your task, that is writing of code, very less. Your writing of code will be very less. That's the advantage you are going to get. So now here you can see the layouts also. You can see, you can just try and explore all these things. I'll just show you a very quick simple window creation that navigates to other window. So so I'm just selecting main window, and then click on create. So here you can see you are getting the main window created. And now let me quickly show you a simple. Here you can find the display widgets, and under the display widgets you can find the label, and then you can just drag, I mean click on that label, hold the left click, and drag it to the main window, and drop it wherever you want. Very simple. It's very simple. And just double click that particular, and then change the value inside that label. By default it's coming as text label now. So you can just double click that particular label and give the label name whatever you wanted. So let me just give some username. I'm just trying to show you with some form, login form, something like that. So username. And then what you can do is, here you can see, as I have just created, you got this property window open. So this property editor is very essential for performing all kind of manipulations to this particular component. The component which I have just added is the label component, and to this label component, whatever the properties you wanted to apply, you can just apply them. And by default, according to the positions where you have dropped this particular label, the geometry is already set to that particular position. You don't require to touch that. And here you can find the font. So you can just click on that font. There you can find a small button with the three dots. You can click on that, and then you can select, do you want it as bold, and then you want it as size, you can specify the size, something like this, 28, and then select OK. Automatically the font gets increased. Accordingly you can just adjust the label. And then beside that, you can just give some text field also. So you can find it under input widgets, text edit. You can just select it and drop it. As mentioned, you can just move the mouse over there and drag it according to the size you wanted in your form, and this is how you can just simply do it. And you can even try with backgrounds, all those things also. I'm not going into all those details. As mentioned, now here, since my mouse is currently selecting this particular text field, here the property editor is shown for the text field. Here the property editor is shown for the text field. So here you can again set all the property changes whatever you wanted, all those things. So the property editor is very essential for designing these forms. And likewise, I can even create a button. So here you can see buttons, and then there you can find some push button. And as mentioned, again double click on that, and rename that push button. The default name is push button. So I can just click, I can just give some name. Okay, okay, let me just give the name login. So as mentioned again, since my current mouse selection is on this push button, here you can see the property editor showing for the push button. As mentioned again, for your purpose, let me go to the font and then increase the size of the font. And then once you increase the size, you need to expand the component. So this is how you can just do. So I hope you are able to observe these things whatever I am doing. So it's very simplest user interface provided, that you can simply design a form and later convert this form to the code, and then you can do changes to the code. Now here you can see I have just added a label username, I have added a text field, and then I have added a button. As you are observing that I am clicking on label, text field and button, automatically the property editor is getting changed. And here current my current selection is on this button, and here you can see the property editor showing push button. And then one thing always do remember is, because when we are going to write the actual code, the thing which you require is the object name. I hope you all accept that. One thing what we require is the object name. So here this is what the one which we require. So object name is the one which we require in developing the applications. So here default you can see push button is there. You can just double click this and you can just change it to some button name. I'm just giving some b1, so that when I'm going to write code, it will be easy for me rather than push name. Similarly, when I click on this text field, here you can see the object name as text edit. So you can just click it and just you can give t1, that is text field 1. Similarly, when I click on this label, again you can see the label as here object name as label. So you can just give l1. So this is how you are going to change the object names. So one thing what we really require to do is the change of the object names, because when you drag and drop the components, automatically the names will be coming with the default names, like for label, and for text field text edit something, for button push button. These are the object names it is coming with. But we require, while application development, to use these object names. That's the reason it's always better to use your own object names for easy changes to the code. And whatever the changes we are making, here you can observe, I hope it's visible. Here you can see the object inspector. Here you can see main window. Within the main window you can find the central widget, and then within that here you can see q push button, which is referred by the object name b1. There is a q label which is referred by the object name l1. There is a q text edit which is referred with t1. Something like this, you can just observe all the things. So the main window and then the central widget. So this is how the hierarchy of the components will be laid. And now here you can find the menu also. Even you can create a main menu also with this qt. Let me quickly show you. I'm not going to add all the actions and everything. I'm just trying to show you what are the things you can do with this qt designer. That's the only intention. So you can just double click here and let me create some menu like file, and then press enter. After clicking, double clicking, you can just type the name which you wanted to add there, and then press enter. And then here you can see, if you want to add submenu, you can just again double click on this, type here, and you can give the name. Otherwise you can leave it. Let me show you by adding few more. So double click again on type here button, and then let me give here file. Okay, open. What does file contain? Open. And then press enter. Again you can see, once again you are getting type here. Again you can double click and then click on, give some name, save. Again enter. Again you can see type here. Again I can double click and give some function, close. And later you can add the actions to them. Right now I'm not adding any actions, I'm just giving the simple layout, and press enter. Sorry. So here you can see, again if you want to add under open also, because like in save also we'll be having now save, save as something like that. You can just click on this plus, and you can still add many menus also, sub menus. You can add sub menus. So similarly there, here you can see next to type here. Again you can double click there, and you can give another menu, something like insert. This is the another menu which I wanted to insert. So press enter. So when you press enter, automatically you can see one more type here is coming to the next of it. So that one more menu if you want, you can add. And below that again you can see type here. That means under insert, whatever the sub menus you wanted to add, again you can add. Again let me double click, and let me just add copy, and press enter. And then again double click and paste, enter. Sorry. Again double click, and then let me just give cut, something like this, enter. So this is how you can just add menus. And now if you want to see how it looks like, here you can go to form, and there you can see preview. If you click on preview, you get to see the form how it is going to look like. I hope it is visible. So here you can see file menu is added. Under file menu you can see open, save, close. Similarly under insert menu you can see copy, paste, cut. So likewise you can add multiple menus. Again under that particular menu you can still add sub menus. So this is how the final form it's going to look like. So I hope you can observe this. So menus are also created. Only thing is, we did not add any actions to them, but we just made the form design. We have designed the form very quickly and very simply. But the same thing, if you have to do it with the tkinter, means you have to add multiple lines of code on your own. You just need to write so many lines of code on your own. But now with Qt designer, you observed how quickly we have designed a simple form. We still have to add some actions, but I'm just showing you how we have added the form very quickly. So I have added a file menu, and then I have added 3 sub menus. I have added an insert menu. I have added 3 sub menus. I have added a label username, and I have added a text field letting the user to provide his name, and then I have added a button with the name login. So all these things we have just done very quickly. And here you can find under the object inspector all the things that you have added. You can check B1 button, L1 label, T1 text edit, and then you can see menu also I have added now. So I got here menu bar. Under menu bar there is a menu named file. Under menu there is action, open, action, save, action, close. Again there is another menu, insert. So this whole thing here, this whole thing is the menu bar, and then file is a menu, insert is a menu. Under that again whatever you are going to see, they are the action parts. So that's why here you can see action, open, action, close, action, save. Again under menu, insert, you can find action, copy, action, paste, action, cut. Like this you can see. So this is how very quickly we can design a form using the Qt designer. Now for making you understand, let me save this first and design another form. So save it. So let me save it in Krishna folder. We have to remember where we are saving, and you can see the save as type is .ui. So this is what I mentioned. By default the type is going to be .ui. and let me save it as login login and save. So I have saved it as login.ui, and let me create new form. So I'm going for create. So here again just close this, and I can just pull this up. So I can close the window and I can pull the other window, and let me add a simple label, and then I'm just going to add some text, just welcome. This is the only text I wanted there, and let me increase the font. So as mentioned, you can go to the property editor, and there you can find font. There beside that, when you select the font, beside that you get this three dots button. If you click that, you can choose bold or regular, and then you can choose the size. Let me choose some 72. I think it comes very big, whatever it is, and you can expand it. And as mentioned, you can just move it across it. You can just hold the mouse and you can move it across the form wherever you wanted exactly. You can select it and drop it there. This is how very simply you can do it. And then let me save this as, and before that I require this object name. So let me change this name. So here this particular, here the object name is here main window it is showing. So I'm just going to change this name to welcome, because I require this name uh, to, so that I can navigate from the first UI whatever I created. So I'm just creating the name welcome. I'm just creating the object name as welcome, and then now I'm just going to save it again in the same folder Krishna, which is on desktop, and you can give any name. I'm giving here welcome.ui, and just save it. So I'm done with creation of two forms. I have created a login, and then I have created a welcome. Two forms I have designed, and then I have remembered the names which I have used for my particular program. And now what we have to do is we have to convert these UI files to the Py files, because there only we can perform the changes and addition of events. So we need to add the action events. So for adding action events we require the actual code. So for that, let me go to the folder desktop, and then Krishna. So here you can find this. I can assume that you are able to follow. So here you can see login.ui and welcome.ui. Now I require to convert these two UIs to the corresponding Py files. So for that I have to go to the command prompt. So the simplest way to go to command prompt, and rather than going and typing this path, I can just go to this URL and type cmd and press enter, so that automatically my command prompt gets opened with the particular path. Now after the path to this particular UI files is opened, the command which you require to execute is PyQt5 hyphen x, and then the UI name login.ui, and then hyphen o, and then the new file where you want this particular code to be copied. So let me give the same name, login.py. Let me explain you quickly. So PyUIC5, this is the command which we are asking the Python UI to create. Hyphen x is for executable mode, and then login.ui you are asking it to be opened in executable mode, and then hyphen o indicates output. So you are asking the code to be output to login.py. That's what this particular command indicates, and let's press enter. So if you don't get any errors, you can assume that, not assume, you can be confirmed that that particular login.py got created. Let me execute with the other one also, and then I'll show you in the folder. So now let me use this welcome.ui, and let's output it to welcome.py. Let me output that particular code to welcome.py and press enter. Okay, so this command without any errors assures you that whatever the UI you have given, it's converted to the corresponding Py file, whatever the name you have given, and you can go to that particular folder and you can check there. So I hope you can see this now. Welcome Py file is created and then login Py file is created. I hope you can see this. So this is how you are going to convert your UI file to Py file. And now what I require is, let me open this login Py. So let me open it with 3.8. So this is the code. This is the code for that. So just imagine how much time you require in order to write this code on your own, and how much difficult it's going to be. So now I haven't written any code. Directly I have used the Qt designer and I have just made use of the drag drop functionality, and then I have just used the command in order to convert the UI to the Py file. So without giving you any troublesome, it automatically created the code for the form you designed using the Qt designer. So this is the Python code that is for the login form which you have generated. So this is how it makes it simplified for you. And similarly, let me open the other one, welcome.py. Again, let me choose 3.8. So here this is the again the other form which we have designed, because since I haven't added much components, the code is shorter in length. But just understand the simplicity this Qt designer have provided you, rather than building from the scratch and typing from the scratch. So simply you are free to design using the Qt designer and then use the PyUIC command in order to generate the Python file and then make your changes only in the Python file. Now one small quick thing which I wanted to show you is how I can connect, or how I can navigate from the first login form to the welcome form. So I have designed two forms now. One is the login form, the other one is the welcome form. So I just quickly show you how I can navigate from login form to welcome form. So for that, what is the name you require to know is the welcome. Here, this name we require to know. This is the class name which I am going to use it in the login. So UI underscore welcome is the class name, and the method name is setup UI. The method name is setup UI. So these two names I require. So UI underscore welcome is the class name, setup UI is the method name. So these names I require in the first login form in order to navigate there. So now let me go to the that form. Yeah, this is the form. Now here, now what I am going to do is, we are going to create another definition. We are going to create another definition in order to open that particular second form, in order to open the second window on clicking the button in the first window. So this is the login.py. So in this I am going to add one simple definition like open window. You can give any name. You can give any name, nothing difficulty. So I am just giving the name open window, and we know that the class compulsory expects the self argument, and then in this self argument I am going to add this self dot window equal to, so this you can copy it from the bottom. Actually here you can find that this one, Qt widgets dot q main window. This method we are going to copy it and use it there. Yeah, here I am going to use it, Qt widgets dot q main window. So this is what the self dot window we are just invoking. On executing this particular method, I want this particular main window to be invoked, and then I'm going to take a variable, because every variable we have to call it with self in the classes. So I'm just taking a variable UI. You can use any variable names, doesn't matter. You equal to, as mentioned, you require that particular class name of the second window. So I have shown you now. So UI underscore welcome, this is what the class name, this is what the class name of the second window. So I'm just getting the object of it, I'm just getting the object of it, and then you have to invoke the setup UI method of the UI welcome class. You have to invoke the method of the setup UI of the UI welcome class. So how you are going to do that, we already know that how to do. So self dot UI dot setup UI, and then you have to pass that window, self dot window, this particular object you have to pass there. So self dot window, and then finally what you have to do is you have done the navigation. So you have created the self dot window object, and then you have created object to this UI welcome, that is the class of the second form which we have designed, and then we are calling that UI welcomes setup UI method. And now you are supposed to ask show method, you have to invoke the show method. So self dot window dot show method, so you have to invoke this show method. And one more thing you need to understand is, I hope you do remember. So here I'm using the UI welcome class, I'm using the UI welcome class. So what I have to do, I have to import that, I have to import that. So from the module name is welcome, because the file name I have given is welcome.py na. So from module welcome, import the class name. What is the class name? You can just copy this as it is, rather than making mistakes with capital letters, small letters. So this is how you have to do that import. So from the module welcome, import the class UI welcome, and then we have set show. And one more thing what you need to do is, because you want this to happen only on clicking button login, you want this to happen only on clicking button login. So I hope you observed, when I have created the button, I named it as the object name 1 b1. So here you can see that object name setting b1. So here I am going to press enter, and then let me add a simple statement, that is a event I need to add now. So for that I am going to add this one single statement for you to observe. So I am just keeping enter. Self dot b1 is the object name dot click dot. So when it is clicked, that means whenever that b1 is clicked, then I am asking it to connect to, what is that, you have to invoke this method. What is the method name we have used? Open window. So we have used the method name open window. So copy it and then use it, self dot open window. So I hope you got to understand what I have done here. So we have just created a simple method open window, and then we have initiated the window object, and then we are creating object to this the second forms class, and then we are invoking the second forms setup UI method, and then we are asking it to show. And then this particular method should be invoked only on clicking the button. So that's why here we are writing the on clicked method. So self dot b1 dot click, then connect to self dot open window. So this is how we will be defining, and let's save it, and let's run and check. Now press F5. Let's see. So here you can see we got the form opened. Let me click login and see. So here you can see on clicking login, I am getting the second form opened. On clicking login, you can see the second form opened. But the point here you need to understand is, the second form is coming over the first form. So first form is not disappeared. In case if you want the first form to be disappeared, one small statement that you can add it is, one small statement which you can add it in the first form is, before asking it to show, you can just uh, write one small statement, that is because the first form is the main window, so you can just tell the main window to be hidden. You can just tell the main window to be hidden. So if you add this statement before asking the second form to be shown to you, obviously the first form will be hidden. Now let me save this, and sorry for that, F5. So here you got the first form opened. Now if I click on this login, you can see the second form getting opened. And now if you move it also, you can observe that the first form is not shown to you. I hope everyone understood how to use the Qt designer. Very simple. So first thing what you do is open your command prompt, type in the command pip install PyQt5. After that, you open the command pip install PyQt5 hyphen tools, and then what you can do is you can go to your Python installation folder, and there you can find the lib folder. In the lib folder, you can find the site packages folder. Within the site packages folder, you can find the Qt PyQt5 tools folder. Within that PyQt5 tools folder, you can find the whatever this said Qt designer. You can find the Qt designer. So for the first time, what you do is you just right click and create a shortcut on your desktop, so that each time you don't require to go to that much path in order to open the Qt designer application. So once you open the Qt designer application, you can happily create new forms and use the input widgets, display widgets, and then the other spaces, buttons, all these things, and drag and drop, and then rename the object names, create the menus, I mean the menu bars, and change the fonts, and drag the component sizes. All these things you can do, and then save it with uh, the UI extension, and then open your command prompt again, and then type in the command as I have shown you here, PyUIC5 hyphen x, and then the UI file name space hyphen o, that is to the output, and then the py file name. So this is how you can just convert the form designed by you to the actual code, so that you can add the event handling mechanism to the form. So if you want to add the event handling mechanism, then only you require this particular conversion of the py code, otherwise you don't require, definitely. So I hope everyone got the quick intro to this particular PyQt designer. With all said, I'll quickly start the quiz, because we are already exceeded our time of 1 hour. So I don't want to take your time. So any queries while answering your quiz also, you can just post me personally, because I have disabled the live chat. So any questions you are having before I end my session, you can just ask during the time of answering quiz also. Personally ask me through WhatsApp. And as mentioned, you're going to write quiz on this regular expressions, lambdas and map. Lambdas and map I have discussed in the earlier sessions. Regular expressions in today's session only I have discussed. So let me start this, so that you can answer the quiz and leave for the day. So still I am continuing with enabling all the power-ups and redemption question. So please do join with your hall ticket numbers only, and no names please. Everyone joined or any others? Who is this XYZ? Okay, here I go. I'm starting the quiz. I'll end the exam within by 12:30. I'll end the exam. All the best. I am ending the game. So congratulations to the top three: 5K7, 551, and 5J4. And congratulations to all the others who have scored 10 out of 10. It's good to see there are many people who have secured 10 out of 10 correct. Yeah, there are around 35 people who have secured all correct. Thank you for your participation, and let's meet in the next session.